entertainment bullseye every week with her hard riding. Straight shooting. And suspense.
What you reading, Wendy?
Book?
Shucks, I can see that. But what's this one about?
Highwayman.
Outlaws?
Nope, old-time English highwayman.
Any good?
Yep.
You don't much like talking, do you, Wendy?
Nope, too much gab in the world. Good thing to remember.
Oh, gosh, how am I going to learn anything if I don't talk to people?
By listening, reading books.
Say, can I read that one when you're finished with it?
Yep, come up to the ranch and get it.
Gee, thanks, Wendy.
Howdy, folks.
Hi, Wendy. We've been a little bit worried about you.
What for?
With Pop Brennan dead and his grandson coming to take over the ranch, they may not need a caretaker.
Well, I reckon I'll stay there just the same. Thanks for being neighborly. Get going, Jessamine.
You know, Lofty, if they put him off that ranch after 20 years, it'll break his heart.
And he's too old to get a job anywhere else.
Yeah, and what would he do with all those books? Come on. Ah! Hey, it's a holdup.
Whatever it is, Tagg, you stay here. Tagg, Oakley, I told you to stay back there.
Like we got help.
Yeah, if it's a law, I don't like it.
You get off your horse and stay here.
All right.
Hold it, mister. And reach.
Gotta keep this fight private. Wait here.
On your feet and start talking.
What happened?
I don't know, Lofty. I had him roped and somebody shot him.
Well, he's done for. 2 hours after, I had too much of a lead on me.
Look. Did you see who shot this man?
No, ma'am. I was too busy chasing my horse. Thanks for stopping the ambush. I'm Tim Brennan, gonna take over the lazy beast spread. My grandpappy willed it to me.
Oh, we've been expecting you. I'm Annie Oakley.
I'm Deputy Craig. Any idea who was gunning for you?
Just road agents, I guess. Or they might have been after Comanche here.
Well, he's a lot of horse, all right.
The Comanche's worth a lot of money. The best racer west of the Mississippi. Never lost a race yet. Either a quarter or 5 miles. Either of you boys plugged this fella?
No.
There's a lot of lead flying. Maybe you stopped a stray bullet.
Yeah, maybe so.
Well, if you need us, we'll be at the Lazy Bee. Thanks again.
Tagg, you turn right around and ride back to town and tell Doc Brennan he's got a case here for the coroner.
Yes, ma'am.
What's in your mind, Annie?
I think Brennan was lying.
Oh, why would he about shooting a gunslinger in a mask?
I don't know, Lofty. There was a single rifle shot fired, and Brennan had a rifle.
Grandpa sure fixed me up fine. Leaving me this rat hole while Bob gets the mine and store in Mesa City.
Well, I'll tell you, if I was you, I'd tell the law that it was my cousin that was gunning for me. Let them take him.
That's not very smart, Calaveras. Grandpappy's will leaves me everything when Bob cashes in. If the law knew we were feuding, I'd be the first one they'd grab when he gets knocked off.
Looks like Bob don't hanker to have you outlive him.
He knows doggone well it's either him or me. And it's gonna be him just as soon as I get the idea to leave me in the clear.
Well, who's been living here?
An old partner of Grandpappy's that he pensioned off after he made his pile.
Must be local, reading all these books.
Howdy.
You the caretaker?
Yep. Wendy Smith. Been expecting you.
Well, the ranch won't need a caretaker anymore, Wendy.
Are you telling me to vamoose?
Well, I've got plenty of help as it is.
But your grandpappy said I was to stay here no matter what.
He didn't tell me anything about it.
Well, I don't never argue with nobody. I'll get now. I'll be back and get the rest of my stuff later.
Crazy as a coot. How about rustling up some grub?
Sure.
Yoakum, Calaveras. I got it. I got the idea that'll get me the rest of Grandpappy's estate.
From what, reading a book?
Yep, the idea that'll keep me in the clear.
Which is what?
An alibi. An alibi they can't break. And Comanche's gonna make it work.
Comanche? Are you getting as local as old Windy from these books?
Read this.
According to the coroner's report, he was killed with this rifle bullet. It could have been Brennan.
Yeah. But any judge in the world would only thank them for shooting a masked bandit.
Why wouldn't he admit it?
Annie, can I ride out to the Lazy Bee and get a book from Wendy?
All right, Tagg. Oh, wait a minute. I'll ride out with you.
All right.
I want to see how Wendy's getting along with his new boss.
And if I know you, Miss Sherlock Holmes, you'll also check on a certain rifle.
If I get the chance.
I'll race you out of town.
All right.
Well, that's about 100 extra pounds, Brennan.
Good. I want to toughen him up so he thinks he's carrying a feather when we go on that big ride. But you boys cover me. Cousin Bob isn't going to quit any more than I am.
What's the matter, Annie?
This is where that man was killed.
Yeah, that's right. What about it?
Brennan came from up there. Tagg, you run on ahead and see Wendy. I'm gonna look around here and see if I can't find that rifle shell.
All right.
He's in good enough shape now.
All right, mister. On your feet and get mounted.
There's Annie Oakley again.
She's nailed Bob.
That spills the beans, don't it?
Not exactly. You see, us Brennans think alike. Bob doesn't want to make this a public fight any more than I do. I'll do the talking. You boys act dumb.
Whatever it was, Jessamine, looks like Annie's taking charge.
Mr. Brennan, I caught this man sniping from cover, shooting this way.
I wasn't shooting at them. I was shooting at a deer.
Did you see the deer, too?
Sure, it was a good-sized buck.
Sorry I made the mistake, mister.
That's all right. Accidents can happen.
Annie! Annie! Went to Wendy's ranch and he's not there. I looked in and a lot of his stuff is gone.
That's right, Wendy moved out.
Where'd he go?
He didn't say.
Hey, maybe he's up in that old camp of his.
We'll take a look and see, Tagg. I'm awful glad you didn't get in any real trouble this time, Mr. Brennan.
Thanks for being on the job anyway. He's too much on the job.
Wendy, for once in your life, will you please talk? What happened to make you leave the ranch?
Nothing special. Place got crowded, Brennan said, so I just pulled up stakes.
But you were so sure you were going to stay there.
Yeah, I thought so. But old Pop Brennan never give me nothing in writing. Except maybe that letter.
What letter?
It come just before old Pop died. But I was reading a book and just kind of never got around to reading the letter.
Where is it?
I don't know, son. Oh, say, I went and fetched that book that you wanted to read. There it is.
Gee, thanks, Wendy.
Wendy, did you see that shooting going on down there?
Yep.
Well, did you see any deer around?
Deer? Ain't seen one in a month. Why?
Oh, nothing. Only if you see any peculiar goings-on with Tim Brennan, you'll let us know, won't you?
Sure.
Oh, by the way, old-timer, one of these days you better get around to finding that letter. So long, Wendy.
So long.
So long, Wendy.
Bye.
I'm gonna make that ride to Mesa City tomorrow night.
Kind of sudden, ain't it?
It's gotta be sudden.
Yeah, and Comanche's in good shape, too. But 100 miles in one night. 50 up to 50 back. I don't know.
Fell on the book, did it, didn't he? My alibi's gonna be better than his.
You're the boss.
Time for supper, Tagg.
Right now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Evening, Miss Annie.
Hello, Mr. Brennan.
Had a little accident.
What happened?
Oh, I stumbled over a rock and sprained my ankle. Not much, but I can't ride for a while. By the way, have you got the time my watch stopped?
6:15.
Thanks. Guess we better get back to the ranch before dark. Let's go. Hiya! Adios.
How'd it go?
Listen, we got Thank you. See you in the morning.
How'd it go, boss?
Not a slip-up. 10.5 hours. Hurry up. We gotta make a check with our official timekeeper.
Why do horses have to be fed so early in the morning?
Because they don't stay up after bedtime reading their books. Here, let me tuck your shirt tail in.
Morning, Miss Annie.
Good morning.
You just getting up?
Yes?
You couldn't have seen Comanche. The rascal broke out of his corral last night.
Oh, that's too bad. If I see him, I'll let you know. How's the ankle?
Pretty painful. Between it and Comanche, I didn't get much sleep last night. Well, we better get on with the hunt. Hey-ya! Yeah. How's that for setting an alibi with the law for witnesses? I gotta hand it to you, boss. Ha!
Brennan, heir, murdered. Robert Brennan, heir to his grandfather's fortune, was shot to death in his bedroom. The assassin left no clue, but a vigorous investigation is being conducted under the leadership of Sheriff Stokes of Mesa City.
It couldn't have been Tim Brennan, Sheriff Stokes.
He's the only one with a motive. He and his cousin hated each other, even before the old man left the most of the estate to Bob.
Well, we saw Brennan the night of the murder at 6:15, and then again the next morning about 6.
I guess I'm beat. No man could have ridden 100 miles to Mesa City and back in 12 hours.
Sure he could.
Tagg, nobody asked for your opinion.
It's not just an opinion, Annie. It's the truth. It's in the book, and I'll show you. Here it is. Dick Turpin rode from London to York in one night, and Jack Nevison, another highwayman, rode 190 miles in 15 hours.
He's right, Lofty. And Nevinson made that ride to establish an alibi.
But Brennan can't even ride with that sprained ankle.
Well, he could have faked the ankle. I'll bet he read this book when it was at the ranch.
I can't arrest a man because I think he read a book.
Well, you could if you broke an alibi and proved the ride could be made.
I don't know the horseflesh that could do it.
I do.
And so do I, Tagg.
Annie, you're not thinking of making that ride.
Why not? If Comanche can do it, Target certainly can. And Lofty, if Brennan is a cold-blooded murderer, it's up to us to prove it.
Oh, it ain't no use, boss. The book ain't here.
I should have gotten rid of it, but I didn't know if the alibi would work.
The old buzzard must have took it.
And if he shows it to his friends, they're bound to get ideas about our alibi. Go up and find Windy, and find that book.
Right.
Tagg, I found that letter right in this book here.
Gee, that's great, Winnie. And listen, you know that highwayman book of yours?
Yeah.
Well, it's helping us solve a murder.
How come?
You know Jack Nevison tried to make that alibi?
Sure.
They think Brennan rode to Mesa City on Comanche to shoot his cousin. Now, Annie's making the same ride on target to prove it could be done.
See, what did I tell you about learning from books?
You're right. Well, I gotta get back to town. Lottie told me to tell you to watch every move Brennan makes.
Sure will.
Good boy, Target.
Evening.
Windy.
Kind of late to be a-calling, but Jessamine ain't no racehorse.
Anything wrong?
Well, I don't know. But Brennan's men's been hanging around my place, and it might be they heard Tagg tell me about Annie riding to Mesa City.
Brennan knows that much. He can guess the rest. He'll try to bushwhack Annie.
Yeah, but where?
That's what we have to find out.
Pull it up. That's good. Yo, can get up on that rock over there with your rope in case this thing misses.
Right.
Nice shoot. Yank it up.
Okay.
Listen, here she comes. Making about the same time I did. Only she's not going all the way.
You all right, Annie?
Yes, thanks to you two. But this makes me kind of late to break that alibi.
Well, you may not have broken it, but you sure sprained it. A lot more than Brennan did his ankle. Come on, let's go.
And so, partner, if anything happens to my grandsons, and knowing them, I expect something will, I'm fixing it for you to get everything I leave behind.
I know how you feel, Wendy, but Pop had to go. And he's seen to it that you're taken care of.
Hey, what are you gonna do with all that money?
I got it. I'll build a library full of books in Diablo.
Hey, a great idea.
Well, make sure you have plenty of books in there about highwaymen. You can never tell when they'll come in handy.
Bullseye! Annie Oakley hits the entertainment bullseye every week with her hard riding. Straight shooting. And suspense.
Hang on,
Good girl, Annie.
Hello.
Hello there.
You seem fascinated, Deputy.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Must the girl be able to outdo Miss Oakley's horsemanship to interest you?
Any girl that can ride a horse like that deserves to be watched, Miss Matthews.
Then let's watch together. And please, call me Dana. Oh, easy boy. Come on, Terry, come on. She's a fine horsewoman, of course. But don't you really think a woman should be a little more feminine and not quite so spectacular?
I never thought much about it. Annie's just... well, she's just Annie.
Why, Lofty, what a nice compliment.
Beautiful writing, Annie. You're getting better all the time.
Thank you. How's your new dancing school coming along, Miss Matthews?
Not as well as your writing, I'm afraid.
Well, you've only been at it a couple of weeks. It takes a little time.
I do have one new pupil, though. He's starting his first lesson today in my beginner's class.
You mean Lofty?
Certainly. I'm sorry, Lofty. I know you told me not to mention it, but really I just had to. Anyway, I know you'll get along wonderfully.
I'll just bet he will.
Now cut it out, Annie. After all, can't do any harm.
Well, it sure won't. The last time we went dancing together, my feet were black and blue. I'm really glad you're taking those lessons. Only remember, we were supposed to meet the Central City stage.
Hey, that's right. We told Tagg we'd meet him.
But, Lofty, you promised to be at the dancing school. Why, if you don't come, probably none of the men will.
Well, I'm sorry, Dana. I did tell Tagg I would...
I'm sure Miss Oakley can meet a silly old stage by herself.
You go ahead and take the lesson, Lofty. After all, Tagg's already been gone a month, and I don't think a few more hours without seeing you'll hurt him.
Well, if you're sure you don't mind.
Of course she doesn't mind. I know you'll appreciate this handsome deputy a lot more when he's learned how to dance. Won't you, Miss Oakley?
Well, I really hadn't thought about it, Miss Matthews. You see, Lofty's just... well, he's just Lofty.
Sure gonna be good to be back in Diablo again. Not that it wasn't nice visiting Aunt Martha, but there's no place like home. Is there, Mr. Jackson? Hey, riding through Haunted Hollow. There's supposed to be all kinds of ghosts and things around here. Ever seen a ghost before, Mr. Jackson? Catch me riding through here at night, not for $1 million. Hey, we're stopping. What's the matter, Ben? Anything wrong?
Nothing to worry about, Tagg. We're just checking a wheel. It's kind of wobbly.
Maybe I better help. The sooner we get out of this place, the better.
I think we can handle it all right, Tagg. Whoa! Whoa!
Holy Toledo! Holy Toledo! Never heard a spookier cool than that, Mr. Jackson. Listen to this one. Hello!
Ready to attack, mister.
You inside. Let's have that satchel. That Oakley girl sure cost us a lot of money, Yancey.
Jana, don't worry about it. We ain't through yet.
See that Ben gets to the doctor, will you, Mr. Jackson? And also told the coroner about the gun guard. I've got to go find Lofty.
Where is Lofty, Annie?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you, Tagg.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's fine, gentlemen. You're doing just fine. Let's start again now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's start again, gentlemen. It seems Lofty is out of step.
That's because she's got 2 left feet, teacher.
Is there something you wanted, Miss Oakley?
Oh, yes, I'm going to have to interrupt your lesson, Miss Matthews. I have to talk to Lofty.
That's her, Annie. She's the one who tried to rob the stage.
What in the world are you talking about?
That's her. I even recognize her voice. Go on, Lofty. Arrest her, quick.
What's this all about, Annie?
Someone just tried to hold up the Central City stage, Lofty. I'll tell you about it when we get to the office.
It's her. I saw her when her mask slipped. She and a big guy did it, Annie.
Tagg, what you're saying is ridiculous.
And impossible. Well, I've been here with these men ever since you left town, Miss Oakley.
She's telling the truth, Annie.
That's right, Miss Annie. We were here all the time doing the old 1, 2, 3.
Honest. I'm just not making it up. Honest.
She couldn't be in 2 places at once, Tagg, and I happen to know she's been right here.
You'd better apologize to Miss Matthews.
I'm sorry.
That's all right, Tagg. We all make mistakes.
Come on, Lofty.
You'll excuse me, Dana. The lessons will have to wait.
Don't worry, Lofty. I'll always be glad to give you private lessons.
I'll take care of the private lessons, Miss Matthews. Come on, Lofty.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 or 2. Take your pick. But I know what I saw, Annie.
Unless Dana is 2 people, Tagg, she couldn't have done it.
Then she must be twins or something.
Tagg, you're letting the effects of Haunted Hollow run away with your imagination.
Pretty hard to imagine a nice girl like Dana Matthews robbing a stage.
Oh, she's got you so muley-eyed you wouldn't even arrest her if she robbed the gold right out of your teeth.
In the first place, Mr. Oakley, I don't have any gold in my teeth. And in the second place, another crack like that and you're going to go right over my knee.
Tagg, I think you'd better go on outside. Lofty and I still have some work to do.
All right. I think I'll do a little detective work on my own. I'll find out what this is all about. Boy, these days they give a deputy's badge to anyone.
Go on. I think some of your stubbornness is rubbed off on him, Annie.
Well, he does seem positive about it, Lofty.
Oh, don't tell me you're going to start now.
Well, I know Miss Matthews isn't involved, but it could be somebody that looks like her. Say, she rented a ranch with her brother, didn't she?
Yeah, about a half mile the other side of Haunted Hollow. Why, what are you getting at?
I think I'll take a ride out and have a talk with her. Can't do any harm. You want to come along?
No thanks. If anybody sees me out there, they'll think I'm apple polishing the teacher.
Hi, sis.
Hi. Is that all you've got to say, Yancey? What went wrong?
Well, just about everything, I guess. That blonde friend of yours, that Annie Oakley, showing up didn't help much.
After all the time we spent playing this job, I thought we'd have that Cattle Association money of Wiley Jackson's and be on our way tonight.
Settle down, sister dear. We're still going to get that money.
How, Janet?
You're going to give a party to advertise a new dancing school. The most honored guest will be Wiley Jackson. Big Brother and I have it all figured out.
You had the last one all figured out, if I remember correctly.
So things go wrong.
Nothing went wrong on my end. The alibi was there, but you let your mask slip. And the kid who saw you was Annie Oakley's brother.
Did he give you any trouble?
Nothing I couldn't handle. But I'm not sure the kid's convinced he's seeing things. You've got to be more careful.
You're telling me to be careful. Look, Dana, we take all the chances.
You know, if you could handle a 6-gun like anything but a hot potato, maybe you could ride with me. Janet could take care of the dancing school.
Oh, she'd shoot her foot off. Here, want to try? Come on, Yancey, let's go up back and practice a little.
Sure. You know, we may need it after that dancing party.
nice shooting, Miss Matthews. You really surprised me.
Thank you, Miss Oakley. I don't think you've met my brother. Yancy, this is Annie Oakley.
Hello.
Howdy, Miss Oakley. My pleasure.
You know, you have an amazing sister. She shoots as well as she dances.
Really, he's just teaching me. Thought I ought to have some sort of protection.
From what I just saw, I'd say you have a mighty good teacher.
I hear you're pretty fancy with a gun yourself, Miss Oakley. Why don't you give us a demonstration? I think it'd do Sis good to watch a real expert.
Thanks for the kind words.
We weren't expecting visitors, Miss Oakley. Was there something you wanted?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I wanted to ask you something.
I wish I could help you, Miss Oakley, but I couldn't be the girl your brother saw.
Well, I've known Tagg to be wrong before, Miss Matthews.
He certainly is this time. I just can't understand it.
Well, I know there's a logical explanation for it. All we have to do is find it.
Oh, I do hope you will.
I'm sure we will. Goodbye. Goodbye, Yancy. Nice meeting you. Almost 2 days now, Lofty, and we still don't have a lead.
Outlaws like that don't give up just because of one bad job, Annie. We'll hear from them again.
No, Lofty, that's not it. Here, let me show you. See? This is it.
Yeah, now I got it.
Oh, it just doesn't figure. For a girl that's just starting to learn how to shoot, she's too good.
Well, maybe she just learns fast, Annie. Oh, look, between you and Tagg, you're gonna drive this poor gal ragged. You know, Tagg's been playing detective now for 2 days. Dana says he's been following her around like a shadow.
Oh, maybe so, Lofty. But I just can't buy the coincidence that two girls look so much alike.
Well, just for this afternoon, try not to think about it, huh? You won't enjoy Dana's party if you keep thinking about those outlaws.
Well, are you sure I'm dainty enough to go traipsing around the dance floor?
You know it won't be any fun unless you're there, Annie. Besides, you're gonna have a lot of free punch.
Oh, I should have known that dance meant more to your stomach than your feet.
There you are, Lofty. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you.
I'd enjoy myself much more if I didn't have to wear this funny old suit.
It's a real nice party you're having here, miss. Believe me, there are some lovely girls here.
And here's the loveliest.
Holy Toledo, Annie. You're just beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Tagg.
I'm rather surprised to see you here, Miss Oakley. I didn't think you went in for this sort of thing.
Oh, I just had to come, Miss Matthews. You see, Lofty told me he'd really be lost without me.
Then why don't you two dance? You'll find that Lofty's quite good.
Yes, I know.
Have you a partner, Mr. Jackson? I'd just love to dance with you.
Oh, the pleasure'd be all mine, ma'am.
Why, you dance beautifully, Mr. Jackson.
Well, thank you, ma'am, but cattlemen don't get much time for things like this.
Tell me something about the cattle business, Mr. Jackson. I'm just fascinated with cows and things.
Well, and that's about it, ma'am. Right now, I'm representing close to 20,000 head of cattle.
Why, you've led about the most thrilling life I could imagine, Wiley. A bachelor like yourself would be quite a catch for some lucky girl.
Miss Matthews sure is a clock watcher. Seems like she's got the time of day on her mind.
Maybe she's got a time bomb all set to go off. Huh, Detective Oakley? Better keep an eye on her.
The more I think about you representing the owners of 20,000 head of cattle, I just can't believe it.
Well, I've got all the figures written down, Dana, over in my office.
I'd have to see it first to believe it.
Well, I'd like to show them to you.
Why, Mr. Jackson.
I could take you over to the office right now and prove it to you.
All right, but we better not go out of here together. People might talk.
What do you suggest?
Well, you go out the front door there. I'll just slip out the back way and meet you at the side of the building.
All right.
Looks like your girlfriend has deserted you for Jackson.
He's got more money than I have. That's probably the reason.
You might have something there, Lofty.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Just a thought.
He's around the other side of the building.
Give Yancey and me about 10 minutes, Dan, and then make some excuse and get out fast. We're taking the buckboard as far as Hard Hollow. We'll meet you there with the horses.
Fine.
Well, young man, you look a little forlorn standing there all by yourself. Do you dance?
No, ma'am, not very well.
Then it's high time you learn. Come on, I'll show you how.
Excuse me, ma'am. I just remembered something real important I gotta do. Excuse me now. Excuse me.
Like my office? It's kind of nice, isn't it?
Where are the figures you're going to show me?
You mean you really want to see them?
I don't. Just get that satchel of yours out of the safe.
What is this?
Better do what I say, mister. This gun's liable to go off.
You'd better pay him, Wiley. He looks terribly dangerous.
Sorry I'm late, Miss Donna, but my chores kind of caught up with me. You certainly have a fine party here.
Well, thank you, Fred. I'm glad you could get here.
Would you mind hanging this up? You know this is a bang-up affair, and I'm not going to need this. Bang up, get it? Oh.
Hey!
Miss Matthews, are you thinking of leaving us?
Why, no. I was just going to take this gun to the cloakroom.
You seem rather anxious to get rid of it. Are you afraid of the gun?
Certainly not. Why do you ask?
Because you're not handling it like you did the other day.
What are you talking about, Annie?
Suppose you spin it, like you did out at the ranch. All right, Miss Matthews. Where's your sister? Your twin sister.
Her twin?
That's right. Tagg wasn't seeing things after all. He saw Dana's twin, the one who knows how to handle a gun.
He'll never prove it. Never.
Oh, won't I?
Annie!
Oh, I know it wasn't very ladylike, Lofty, but I had a good reason for it, believe me. You folks keep an eye on her. Come on, Lofty. If I'm not mistaken, Wiley Jackson's in real trouble.
And they got every penny, Annie.
I'll saddle the horses, Annie.
We haven't got time, Lofty. We'll have to take one of the buckboards.
I sure hope Dana gets here in a hurry. The sooner we get out of this territory, the better.
She'll be here.
Look!
The accessory to the murder and the robbery has the black eye, and that's Dana. And you, Jana, along with your brother, will be tried on both counts.
And that's why you clobbered Dana.
Well, I told you I had a good reason, Lofty. When I finally caught on to the twin gag, I figured somebody was going to try a legal mix-up.
Well, gosh, sis, it's 3 days till the circuit court gets here. You think that shiner will last that long?
If it doesn't, Tagg, I'll help it along.
I'll get it for you, sis. Holy Toledo! I forgot all about my trousers.
And we thought we had double trouble.
Boy, isn't this the end?
Bullseye! Annie Oakley hits the entertainment bullseye every week with her hard riding. Straight shooting. And suspense.
Spells out trouble, Lofty.
The Chino brothers have never been good news.
Suppose they're headed this way?
I don't know, Tagg.
If they are, I'll tell you one thing.
What's that, Lofty?
They're gonna run into trouble.
Doc, it's a boy, Bill. A healthy, strapping boy, 8 pounds 6.
A boy? Oh, gosh, Doc, Oh, thanks, Doc. How's Mary?
Oh, fine, just fine. Dad'll be out in a minute. You can go in and see her. And take a look at your new son.
My son. How do you like that? My son. I don't know how I ever get through it, Doc.
That's a mighty fine-looking boy you've got in there, Bill. Congratulations.
Thanks, old Doc. Thanks to both of you.
You better go in and thank your wife. She did all the work.
Oh, yeah, I guess I better.
You did a fine job in there, son. I'm proud of you.
Oh, I'd have been lost without you, Dad.
What are you talking about? You're a better doctor than your old man already.
I'll have to get up pretty early in the morning before I can keep up with your reputation.
You know, son, we're going to make a fine team. Maybe we should advertise, huh? Shaw and Son, 2 for the price of 1. A baby cries, and someone dies.
Well, I'll go in and say goodbye, Dad. Be just a minute.
This pony's out real fast. We'll change saddles later.
Look at my Mary tomorrow, Bill.
Thanks, Doc.
And don't you worry about a thing. With all the newfangled knowledge Jeff brought home from school, you ought to be able to raise yourself a fine brood.
He won't admit it, but it takes a lot of good old-fashioned know-how, too.
Shall we go home, Doctor?
After you, Doctor.
Hey, stop!
The horse thieves!
It's the Chino brothers. Let's ride. Come back with those horses! Yeah! Let me get him into the house, Bill. It's old Doc, Mary. He's been hurt. Bill, get the medical bag from the buckboard. Right into town. Get Annie and Lofty. I'll take care of Mary and the baby. Now hurry.
A baby cries and someone dies.
How is he? How's old Doc?
I'm old Doc now, Bill.
Oh, Jeff, I'm sorry.
I've given Mary a sedative, Bill, but she's still pretty upset. You better go in there with her.
Okay, Doc. And Doc, I'm sure sorry.
Hey, I wish there was more we could say, Jeff.
There's nothing I could do. Nothing. 8 years of medical school, and all I could do was watch him die.
Jeff, you can't blame yourself.
Maybe you're right, Annie. But I do know who I can blame.
What do you mean, Jeff?
Grjngo.
Hold it up. What's the matter, Brett? Oh, I can't go on any further. I gotta rest this leg. There's our way out of this territory after I rest this leg a while. But what do we do meanwhile? We can't hide out here in the open. There's an abandoned mine up ahead. We'll stay there a couple of days. We can get the horses out of sight in the shaft. Come on. You two go back and cover our trail and do it right. I don't want no company.
Hello, Jeff. Any luck?
We found the horses they abandoned, but I'm afraid they covered their trail up pretty well.
Probably out of the territory by now.
Now, they can't get away. Every lawman in 3 states is looking for them.
And I don't think they're out of the territory. With that wounded leg, Grjngo's got to hold up someplace.
We haven't given up, Jeff. But we got a lot of ground to cover.
Well, if you find Grjngo, you better not bring him back to Diablo.
What are you trying to say?
I'm afraid I might kill the man, Annie.
Jeff.
Chino's our job.
It was my father he shot.
But you're a doctor with a job of your own to do, like old Doc wanted.
Being a doctor doesn't make much sense anymore without him. They were just getting started together.
You can't mean that, Jeff. It's because he's gone that you've got to be an even better doctor than you are.
I don't know, Annie. I just don't know.
Doc, you gotta come quick.
Tagg, what is it?
Jill Turner. She's been hurt. Fell out of the hayloft.
Where's Silas?
Her grandpop's with her, Lofty, out at their ranch. Come on, Doc, you gotta hurry.
Let's go, Tagg.
Doctor, I'll go with you. You might need a good nurse. I'll meet you back at the office, Lofty.
All right, Annie. There you are, Jill. Good as new. You're a lucky girl to come out of a bad fall like that with just a broken arm.
Feel all right, dear?
Sure, Grandpa. I'll be okay.
I'm sorry, Jill. Guess it was kind of my fault.
Tagg.
It wasn't either your fault.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. I just jumped wrong.
Well, if I hadn't have jumped first, you wouldn't even have tried it. Oh, gosh, you're only a girl.
Only a girl? Well, Tagg Oakley, when my arm gets better, I'll prove to you that I can jump just as well as you can. Maybe better.
Hey, you better keep her in bed for a few days, Silas. Even though it's not apparent, she's had quite a shock.
But, Grandpa, I have a test at school. I can't miss class.
You heard what the doctor said.
I bet old Doc wouldn't have made me stay in bed.
Gail.
I'm sorry.
I'm sure you can study for the test here at home, Jill. Maybe Tagg can help you.
Yeah, I can bring your books and papers home from school, and we can study for the test together.
That sounds like a fine idea. What do you say, Doc?
No harm in that.
Swell. See you tomorrow.
Bye, Tagg.
Right now, you try to get some rest.
I will, Doctor.
Bye, Jill.
Bye.
Jeff, I'm sorry about what the girl said. She didn't mean it. You know how kids are.
That's all right, Silas.
I wish you didn't have to run off. I was hoping you'd want to join me in a pinochle game like your pa used to.
Well, not today, Silas.
Why don't you stay, Jeff? Do you good.
Please, Annie. Maybe some other time.
Goodbye, Silas.
Goodbye.
Jeff, that was a nice job you did setting Jill's arm.
Dad taught me how to do that before I was 16.
Jeff, you've got to get hold of yourself.
It's no use, Annie. I'll never be able to take old Doc's place.
You can if you can stop feeling sorry for yourself and realize that everyone in Diablo is missing your father. I'm sorry, Jeff, but you needed that. Somebody's got to shake some sense into you.
I know it, Annie. I think it might work. I could just get Brett Chino off my mind.
He'll be caught, Jeff, I promise you that. Lofty and I won't stop until he's back in prison where he belongs.
Tagg. All settled, Annie.
Oh, good.
Where are you and Lofty riding to, Annie?
The Rimrock area. Lots of places there for the Chinos to hold up.
Sure wish I could go with you instead of going to old school.
Now, you just quit complaining, Tagg Oakley, and be grateful that Diablo has such a fine school. Oh, and don't forget you promised Jill to help her with her lessons.
I'll ride out there after school, Annie.
So long, Tagg.
So long, Tagg.
So long.
Have you seen Jeff this morning?
No. Why?
I'm worried about him, Lofty. The way he's been acting lately.
About Brett Chino, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think Jeff's got better sense than to try to take the law in his own hands, Annie. Besides, he doesn't know the whereabouts of the Chinos any more than we do.
No, I know that, Lofty, but well, if Jeff is planning something, we can only hope for one thing.
What's that?
And we find Brett Chino before he does.
Describe the parts of the foliage leaf.
The blade, the petiole, or leaf stalk, and the stipule.
Gee, that's good, Jill.
What next?
Let's see. Be prepared to draw a simple picture of the following plant, tree, and flowers found in the surrounding territory. 1, the cactus.
Oh, that'll be easy.
The Joshua tree.
Oh, I know that one, too.
And the lupin.
The what?
The lupin.
What does it look like?
I'll have to look it up. The lupin is one of the genus of...
That's genus, silly.
That's what I meant. One of the genus of herbs with white, yellow, or blue flowers.
Oh, I think I know. I saw one in Greystone Canyon one time, near the old mine area. But I don't think I could draw one.
I could go over and get one. It's not so far.
That'd be a swell idea, Tagg.
I'll be back in 1/2 hour.
Okay, bye.
two, get enough supplies to last, and then what are those horses when you get back?
Then we hop that freight train and get out of the territory.
Holy Toledo, the Chino brothers.
What was that?
Probably just a jackrabbit or coyote.
Yeah, guess we're getting a little jumpy. I'll get going. We haven't got too much time.
Covered a lot of ground, Annie.
Yeah, and haven't found a thing.
Maybe they have gotten out of the territory.
It's possible. But I still don't think so, Lofty, with Brett Chino wounded so badly.
They must have been gophers to disappear so completely.
Yeah. Hey, Lofty, you might have something there.
I was only kidding, Annie.
Well, yeah, I know, but you might have just stumbled onto an answer.
Forgive me for being dense, but we've had a long, hot ride today.
Well, look, Lofty, they could have gone underground. A mine, cave, shaft, or something.
Yeah. No, I hate to admit it, but you could be right. We covered everything just about from the ground up.
Lofty, Annie!
Well, Tagg.
What's wrong, Tagg?
I saw him, Lofty. The Chinos.
Where?
Up at that old abandoned mine shaft in Greystone Canyon.
Turned into gophers, all right.
Tagg, what were you doing up there?
Trying to find a lupin so Jill and I could draw a picture of it for the test at school. And I heard them say they're going to jump the freight train.
That's right, Annie.
Yeah, we better hurry.
I'm sorry, Tagg, but I don't want you in the way of any bullets. Now, you ride on back to town and stay there.
All right, sis. Good luck.
Stay here, Annie. I'm going in. Chino's been hurt bad, Annie.
Well, do you think we can move him safely?
He'll never reach town alive.
Well, I'll ride to town for Jeff.
Jeff?
Do you know of another doctor within 80 miles?
I'll stay here and do what I can for him.
Get your bag, Jeff. You're needed badly.
Well, what happened, Annie?
You'll find out when you get there. Now, hurry. A man's been hurt and he needs your help. Now quit asking questions. How is he, Lofty?
Still alive.
There's your patient, Doctor.
You expect me to help him?
He's a human being, Jeff, and he's dying.
You think I can forget that he killed my father?
No. And I don't think you'll forget you're a doctor either.
He's lost a lot of blood. I'm not sure there's anything I can do.
You can do your best. That's all any man can do.
If death is the prescription, Jeff, let the law be the doctor, not you.
Tagg, bring that lamp over here.
All right.
Well, it's in Jeff's hands now, Lofty. Come on, we've got a train to meet.
Don't you think we ought to wait for Brett? We haven't got time. He may not come out of that mine alive. We got to look after ourselves. Yeah, I guess you're right. I'll make the jump to the train from that boxcar down there. As soon as I get the engine stopped, I'll pick you up down the line. I'll wait here till you make it, just in case.
Mister, you got a long walk back.
Guess they missed their train, huh, Lofty?
There'll be another one, Tagg. Back to state prison. Don't look so serious, Annie. Chino's going to live. At least long enough to stand trial for murder.
Gosh, I almost forgot. I was supposed to live with this Florida Jill. She'll be wondering what happened to me.
I'll help you get Chino in the buckboard, Doc. Thanks, Annie, for what you said in there.
I just said what old Doc would have said, Jeff.
Tagg, when you get over to the Turner Ranch, would you give Silas a message for me?
Sure, Doc. What?
Tell him to break out the cards. I'll be over for a little pinochle tonight.